Good evening, trustees, Superintendent Azrani, members of the cabinet, and members of the audience. I'm Heather Marshall, principal at Browns Valley and Cordua Elementary Schools. At Browns Valley, our guiding mission statement is every student, every day. At Cordua, it's every student matters, every moment counts. Browns Valley and Cordua have developed a school plan for student achievement, or SIPSA. Both schools engage in timely and meaningful consultation with stakeholders in the planning as well as the implementation of the SIPSA. Data is critical in determining the needs of students. The data sources considered in the Comprehensive Needs Assessment, which drives the SIPSA development, are listed on this slide. An example of data used in the Comprehensive Needs Assessment is the CASP data. This is our preliminary data from last year's state CASP testing. We were pleased to see the data reflect the efforts and hard work of our staff, students, and families. In our first look at this data, we focused on the columns for met and exceeded to see the percentage of our students tested that were at or above grade level. We compared that against the year prior, and in each grade level and content area, we saw significant growth. This is true of both Browns Valley and Cordua, 3rd through 5th graders, as you can see in these two slides. This first one is Browns Valley 3-year CASP, ELA, and math data. This is Cordua 3-year CASP, ELA, and math data. This is another example of data we consider when developing our SIPSA. We look at who is being recognized throughout the year for academic or behavior success so that we can intervene and make a plan for students not yet recognized. You can see in the bar graphs for each school at the top of this slide what last year's student recognition looked like, with the darker color indicating students that had received acknowledgement. The pie charts below illustrate our discipline trends for last year, showing referrals by grade level. We also track and can look at trends for specific behaviors and even individual students. This helps our PBIS teams determine the efficacy of our systems and what actions we might be able to take to improve student outcomes. The next 5 slides highlight the way Browns Valley and Cordua schools prioritize categorical funding under district LCAP goals. The SIPSA goals at both schools are largely the same, as we're working towards the same objectives and initiatives, though the funding sources are different. LCAP Goal 1 is to improve academic performance by creating an academic system that addresses and engages the various identified needs of all students. Both schools have LRTs, 3.5 hours per day. We budget funding for school copiers and supplemental or enrichment materials, online resources, and for STEAM. We also prioritize books for our library and technology. LCAP Goal 2 is to create an environment that addresses the physical, emotional, and safety needs of all students and staff. PBIS programs set behavior expectations and recognize student success, and we're looking to fund ongoing high-quality professional development around our initiatives. LCAP Goal 3 is to prepare every student with the skills needed for college and career readiness. While we are elementary schools, we want to prepare our students early for college and career. We use PLC time to plan instruction, analyze data, and create interventions where appropriate. We fund before and after school tutoring to target those identified needs. LCAP Goal 4 is to build a system of specific support for our English learner, foster, and low SES students. Although EL students do not make up a significant subgroup of enrollment at either school, a team of myself, EL support, and our outreach consultant work together to ensure that accurate EL testing, monitoring, and reclassification occur. In addition, we use our PBIS program and our outreach consultant position to work within tiered systems of support to plan for the success of all students. LCAP Goal 5 is to improve home-to-school partnerships. In both SIPSAs, there are goals written to facilitate family nights. Both schools send out monthly newsletters, and meet regularly with various parent groups. The next two slides reflect the preliminary categorical budgets for both schools. As I mentioned previously, they look a little different from each other and other schools in the district as Browns Valley does not receive Title I funding. It's worth mentioning that these budgets are also not reflective of unrestricted funding sources, support from the district, and from each site's PTA. The Browns Valley categorical budget without carryover totals $19,171 in targeted funds. And the Cordua categorical budget without carryover totals $25,741 in targeted and Title I funds. The next two slides show some photos of the last 2 weeks of school and some of last year, since we're just in the beginning stages of the 22-23 school year. I tried to highlight some of our PBIS program through photos. You'll see the matrix that is hanging in the Browns Valley School hallway, students attending PBIS tours, and participating in a staff versus students kickball game. At the bottom corner of this slide are photos of a neat opportunity on campus at Browns Valley. The Center for Western Weather and Water Extremes, Scripps Institution of Oceanography, installed a weather station, one of several throughout Yuba County. The station measures precipitation, humidity, air temperature, solar radiation, wind speed, and a number of things related to weather. The scientists from Scripps have also been in partnership with the Yuba Water Agency. This has created opportunity for community partnerships and meaningful interactions between real scientists and students. At Cordua, one of our long-standing traditions is our whole school flag salute, which you can see in the photo in the bottom corner. I also highlighted some of our PBIS program through photos. There's a photo of the schedule of our PBIS tours that we did at Cordua, of our posters that are throughout the school listing expectations. I was excited to include a picture of our new Kindergarten Stars program and a couple of photos of some science solar ovens out of pizza boxes that our 4th and 5th graders did to show our dedication to incorporating STEAM into our everyday learning. That concludes my presentation for this school year, but before I end, I wanted to express my admiration and appreciation to the staff at Browns Valley and Cordua. They are two schools who are filled with people who do whatever it takes for kids every single day. Thank you.